Fallout Day 2024. When will Bethesda finally stop disappointing us? Probably when they go bankrupt, which is hopefully soon at this rate.
We are sitting down to talk about the first ever Fallout Day stream. This seems to be an annualized event in the making where Bethesda is going to make Fallout related announcements at the same time as celebrating its community. It's both a stream for charity at the same time as revealing deals and little announcements for the Fallout franchise. But naturally, a lot of people did get their hopes up, and I kind of get where they're coming from because Bethesda did promise Fallout 76 updates. We got that. But they also said even more surprises, and people
Who cares about 76 updates? The 5 people playing that game and the rest are bots, by the way, don't care. Okay, they don't care. They are stuck in a nightmare loop of living hell, and they want to just end. They don't want more nightmare fuel to be added.
Started to wander with that speculation into dangerous territory, as I talked about in our original video on the topic, where people were thinking Fallout 5 or Fallout 3/New Vegas remaster. And my exact words were, no, way too soon for any of that. It's not happening. The most you will probably get in the terms of something new is Fallout Season 2. I will admit, with some of the wording Bethesda used throughout the video, as well as their pace at one point and how they were building things up.
You know what I never understood about these zombie designs, these skull designs, the decrepit, dried up husk designs? The fact that the eyes are like this, like the eyes are something that just bulges out like this, that's not how human skulls look. The eye sockets aren't like this, separate from the skull. Not even close to that. I never understood this.
At one point, and how they were building things up, I did get the feeling that there was going to be more here beyond 76, and when it ended with the biggest teaser of anything coming to the future of Fallout being fishing in 76, yeah, I got a little salty, I won't lie, even with my very low expectations. Nonetheless, though...
You see, Maddie, your mistake was to even have expectations. Having expectations for Bethesda is a fool's errand. Having expectations for Fallout 76 and expecting that it's not gonna be the worst thing in life since HIV and cancer, well, got another thing coming.
My other aspect of the top-down thoughts is I'm viewing this a little bit like Developer Direct for Xbox. When they did the first ever Developer Direct, it was like an anti-banger in the terms of games there. It was like Elder Scrolls Online, Minecraft Legends. Like, there was nothing there that was really getting me out of...
Elder Scrolls Online didn't actually sound bad on paper. Just FYI, it turned out to be complete garbage, but hey, it didn't sound bad on paper.
My seat, but it was about sort of the format, the idea, and what Xbox would use this for in the future, where they'd have much bigger directs like Starfield, like Black Ops 6, like at the top of this year where we saw a ton of games, and we expect that every year. So when it came to format, the mixture of humor, I actually thought the energy was pretty good, the presentation was good, all of that was good where I could see a big Fallout announcement happening here, but obviously this is me just getting in my own head as, like, if you will, an industry analyst and just looking at the long view of it all. What you really probably care about is right here, right now. This stream did not deliver for many people, even in the 76 area, and we're going to talk about what's coming to that game. But all in all, if you're thinking of something that's...
Dude, when the 76 actual real fans don't like what you're showing them, you know there's problems, because those people don't have any brains at all left. They're just simply doing mindless, meaningful tasks day after day and grinding experience and whatnot. They don't know better. And yet you couldn't even satisfy them? That's insane, Bethesda.
Kicking off a Fallout event each and every year, I do feel like you should have had something in your back pocket as sort of a just one more thing to create the expectation. Again, if this is a lot about format and what I can expect next year and the year after that, I don't think it would have hurt to have something in the fold. But I was surprised that even in the case of Fallout 76, we did not get a deep look into 2025 at all. And I thought that was a silly mistake because you're commanding a level of attention given this is the first Fallout Day stream. A lot of people are watching out of just curiosity, and this is your chance to get people in long term, right? We had that big bump with the Fallout TV show to just kind of keep the cards close to the chest here as you're talking about the future of 76. That was a very foolish mistake. So we're going to run through the very little announcements that were made here. I'll give some thoughts as we go along here, but wanted to give some top level thoughts on the event itself. Did it disappoint me? I can't really say yes because I had very low expectations.
Of course you can't say yes. You will never say yes. That's why we call you a shill. You understand that, right? So you had super low expectations, and Bethesda failed even to meet them. But is the event a disaster? Well, I can't say yes. No, and you wonder why people say things.
Expectations. But when my man Todd Howard appeared at the end, I was like, oh, they're going to do something. And he just thanked us and left. I was like, dang, man. So, yeah, definitely stung a little bit.
Dude, Todd Howard has been so eviscerated probably in life now. It's not even funny. Well, it is funny for us. But Todd Howard probably is going to sleep drinking 15 different pills a goddamn day, okay? And 3 bottles, okay? His children are currently in the state of, oh, please don't let daddy come home, okay? It's not even funny, boys. Todd Howard probably has been destroyed with how poorly everything has happened, okay? And yet again, by the way, the Fallout TV show, do you think Todd Howard enjoys its success? Hell no! Todd Howard didn't make it. It's the Fallout TV show to a degree is slightly on the same scale as, you know, Todd Howard's hate for Fallout New Vegas. Kind of, because again, it's a thing that he didn't make, but this one is slightly less offensive to him, so he can kind of tolerate it. But again, the arguably second most loved because of brainless tourists, Fallout IP, Fallout thing that has happened, and again, it's not Todd Howard who made it. Man, it must sting.
Bit at the end there. But let's talk about what was there. They did have these segments clearly inspired by The Office that kind of served as transitions to next parts of the stream. Like, I thought the part where Dog Meat was in the boardroom was actually funny. It did get a little cackle out of me. But yeah, I guess
I'm sorry, wait, was that even the right? No, it's not even, doesn't even look like Dog Meat. What do you mean?
Dog Meat was in the boardroom was actually funny. It did get a little cackle out of me, but yeah, I guess I'm looking for things to be positive about here. All in all, let's really jump into Fallout 76 here because they announced that, you know, there's 20 million players on 76. There's more players in Fallout than ever.
Okay, I'm not saying I would, but she probably has a strap on, but I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Before, and right now 76 is free to the 29th. But things happening in the Fallout franchise are Twitch drops, discounts, and everything. Fallout. There's a Fallout Shelter bundle, including Lucy, Maximus, the Ghoul, and other goodies. But otherwise, it was just a full-on 76 stream. One thing they made very clear is that the creative director stepped into the camera and said, "We have no intention of stopping." And I was like, you know, for a moment, I felt that was a message for me because there were a lot of times I was like, dang, this looks dead in the water. But this is the weird thing with 76 is they are always so gun shy with going in on their roadmaps, and people start to assume the worst because before the Fallout TV show, there really wasn't much. It seemed like,
well, yeah, they did a roadmap. That's why they're not doing another roadmap, okay? Because roadmaps are really, really powerful tools for 2 things. Games that want to milk everything instantaneously out of their player base, not trash, and really, really good games so people keep being excited. Fallout is honestly none of them because they can't even really milk their player base fast enough, so roadmaps are useless. The last time we got a roadmap, everyone made fun of it. That's the thing. That's why they don't make another roadmap, because whenever they make a Fallout roadmap, people are just having a laugh at it because it's so poor. There's no content. The content that is there seems bad and boring and useless, and that's it. The first content roadmap that we had for Fallout 76 was, okay, here you get this that no one cares about, then you get this, and then you're gonna get NPCs. That's right, yeah, NPCs. Huh? What revolutionary tactics? We're gonna add NPCs to our Fallout games. And that kind of all went to hell, by the way. And yeah, so that's why they're not making roadmaps anymore, because people just make fun of them, obviously.
happening with 76. But they made the statement there's no intention of stopping the support for 76. So a big commitment there, making it very clear to people like me who have doubted the future of 76, like, yo, we're here to stay. So in the terms of what's coming up to 76, they talked.
And by the way, obviously 76 is going to be here to stay because it still has a extremely dedicated and brain damaged fan base that will literally eat up, gobble, just put that slop pipe down their throat and hold the release button as hard as they can, okay? Those people are gonna buy every single microtransaction that there is in this game because, again, currently the people who are playing Fallout 76, as I said a year ago, as I said 2 years ago, are the same people, okay? It's the, oh, I'm gonna try this game because why not? And they get to like level 10 and then they abandon it. Oh, I'm sorry, now you start at level 20 or something like that by default because no one likes the early game of the game because it's so shit, so you decided to skip it. You know, they play for 2 hours and they quit, or they turn into someone who has a level 2000, okay? And getting a level 2000 does take a long time, okay? Let me tell you that. And those are the only people that play this game. Mentally ill people and, well, mentally ill people again. There's not a lot of choice.
About what's happening in December, and really just December. We'll get into 2025 a little bit, but we didn't even get dates on anything. So in December, you're going to get camp pets. They say you can get a cat and a dog, and there's more pets coming in the game. You can pet them, you can dress them, you can put furniture out for them. I remember in Fallout 4, like, this unlocked a memory of mine that you could actually, like, go ahead and tame creatures and put them in your settlement. So this is a little bit of that energy, but they're kind of hyping it up like it's this big deal. And I personally just don't really care about the camps in general. I like visiting other players' camps in 76, but I don't care about building my own, really, as long as I can just go out and play the game. That's how I am. They announced player titles, so you can equip these like a prefix and a suffix and have all wacky MMO-like.
My favorite part about Maddie saying that he likes the game is the fact that he has been using effectively the same footage from... Well, it's not the same footage, but he gets the newest footage of Fallout 76, and then he just reuses it constantly when talking about this. And you know that his level is not going up, and his weapons never change, which is hilarious.
Names attached to your gamer tag, if you will. So that's there. But the real big announcement for Fallout 76 was a raid. It's called the Gleaming Depths, and it's an abandoned Enclave research lab that is built like a traditional MMO dungeon, as they described it. They really emphasize that this is endgame focused, and we're also emphasizing the high difficulty with encounters with a creature called the Stalker. There was Enclave Squad Epsilon that was going to fight you, and this big snake-like boss at the end called the Ultrasight Terror of the Gleaming Depths. And it definitely is the biggest boss we've ever seen in the Fallout franchise. Wow. I'll have more thoughts on that in a moment. I just want to go through the rest of the bullet points here.
Dude, all the bosses in this game are so bad. You just effectively you aim at it, shoot, and then you use a stim back time to time. There's literally never a point to do anything else.
Really defined it as a gauntlet, co-op focus, like lots of enemies. You have to be really prepared for this. You're going to need 4 players to do this. They showed a little bit of the teamwork ongoing where other players were shooting enemies while you were grabbing fuel and putting it into the drill, and certain enemies were like falling into fans. So it seemed a little bit more interactive than your traditional Fallout 76 dungeon, but this is them taking like a real crack at the raids here, and they emphasize that there was...
Wow, from just a shooting gallery, they added a, I don't know, Days Before generator mechanic or something like that. That's it? That's your whole fucking innovation. You understand, Bethesda, how much there is from other games to steal from. You could steal everything. Instead, well, Bethesda has really, really bad experience with stealing. The last time they stole something, it was in Elder Scrolls Online. You know what they decided to do? They decided to steal Torghast from World of Warcraft Shadowlands. The most critically versed acclaimed expansion, and the versed acclaimed part of that expansion that people hated the most. Bethesda looked at that and said, hell yeah, let's steal that thing for Elder Scrolls Online. So yeah, maybe it's good that Bethesda doesn't steal stuff, because when they steal stuff, they steal the literal worst things ever.
There was no turning back once you started. All in all, I think this looks kind of cool. Like, I am a flyby 76 player, so when they drop something like a Skyline Valley, I'm in. I'm going to go ahead and check that out. But something like this, like, I'm not even in the end game status. I don't have enough resources or good loot and play the game enough to get any of that. So for me, this is really nothing, but I like that they are focusing on end game content, because this has been a big critique of 76 from the diehard.
Yeah, and this, by the way, happens every single time, and this content is useless. This is the same as Diablo 4 currently is in, by the way. Diablo 4 is effectively 150 billion% Diablo 3. It has the exact same mechanics, end game, early game, mid game, systems, everything. There is not a single unique thing left in Diablo 4 that Diablo 3 did not already do, okay? Maybe the aspect. Sets have not been introduced yet, but, that's a work in progress. And, well, people hate the end game. The average person fucking hates the end game because it's dull. It's just unkillable enemies that you need to shoot, and nothing really happens, and this is the same thing with Fallout. The moment a game like Fallout 76 says that they're gonna concentrate on the end game for their fans, you know that they have literally given up and just want to milk the people left, because there's nothing else left.
Fan base that a lot of the end game content is lacking. So hopefully this raid can deliver for those fans. And one way that you'll have to prepare for this raid is getting 4-star legendary. So originally it was just 1, 2, and 3 stars. Now you'll have a 3-star legendary. You can add a 4-star mod. It'll turn it into a 4-star legendary. And the amount of status effects attached to these weapons now are crazy, like rivaling even what Borderlands could offer you. You already know how I feel about legendaries in Bethesda Game Studios games, but nonetheless, it is good again for the long-term player. These have been requests that have been there for a while. Endgame focused content, 4-star legendaries. So good stuff for the hardcore 76 community. For me, not really hopping in. And I do have thoughts and feelings as, like, I don't want to call myself an OG Fallout fan, if you will, because I started with Fallout 3 like many people, but have loved this franchise so dearly for so long. It is a little weird seeing like big boss fights be a talking point, because I've never really thought of Fallout ever in my life as like a franchise with boss fights, because most boss fights I can talk through, right? Like I think of the end of New Vegas for an example, and you can just talk your way around those final fights if you have max speed.
Gee, I wonder why he's thinking about New Vegas, not anything else. I really wonder. Again, boys, never be shamed by the people who say, oh, you're just a New Vegas supremacist. Yes, it's literally the best Fallout experience we have. It is literally the best Bethesda experience we have. It is literally one of the best role-playing RPGs that we have ever had. Okay? I'm going to talk about it a lot, because I want something as good as New Vegas.
And like that's a really cool component of it. And even if you do fight, they're humans or mutants, and the most I fight is something the size of like a car.
You know what I never did in New Vegas? I never did a laser weapon playthrough. Just kind of didn't.
And the most you fight is like a Deathclaw, which is its own type of boss, if you will. It's terrifying because you can encounter it at any point, and it's very much bigger than you, but not on the level of like what you're seeing here with the Ultrasight Terror, which is like a huge
console
snake.
players.
So yeah, don't mind me just being an old man shouting at a cloud here. But that's really what's happening in December. And so then they start talking about 2025. I'm thinking, all right, this is what we're really here for. Like, lay out the roadmap, at least for the next half year. Like lay out what's going to come to 76 by June of next year, and I think we'll be in a good spot. And as I predicted, they focused on ghouls in Fallout 76 because they announced this earlier this year that you'll be able to play as a ghoul in 76. So what they confirmed is that there's a ghoulification quest that lets you become a ghoul. You'll be immune to rads, and it'll actually heal you and even let you unlock unique abilities. My problem with a lot of what they talked about with the ghoul is they didn't really show off these things. Like, what are these new abilities? They did show off, for example, the new perk cards. There are new ghoul specific perk cards that you can add alongside what they're calling now the human perk cards, and I thought that was really cool. There's a feral meter instead of a hunger and thirst meter, and so when you go feral, you'll use just like hand-to-hand combat, and I thought that sounded really cool, but we didn't really see how it activated and what status effects attached to it. So again,
it's probably going to be either completely broken and lame, or lame and completely underpowered, so no one's going to care. Again, there's not really a middle ground where Bethesda does something good enough.
I just thought showing these things off was a little bit lacking here. They talked about NPCs not liking you. Didn't really show that off. They said that you'll be able to get around that, though. Didn't show that off. So again, I just feel like 76 putting its best foot forward here. I know a lot of people are just going to be screeching, oh, it's only 76. But like I said in the original video talking about this stream, like, you should have expected mostly 76 here. But this is exactly what I meant about 76 not really putting its best foot forward. Like, you were capturing the massive audience you have right now. Why are you not committing to more details, more information, not just even beyond what I'm talking about, but even the things you are ready to talk about? I feel they were very scarce on showing exactly what they were talking about. Like, it's a complaint beyond what I imagine a lot of this video will be and what a lot of people are saying online. Like, oh my God, it's just 76, when that is pretty much exactly what we should have expected based on what was said. It's just a...
And that's sad. Maddie, the problem is that it's exactly 76 is the thing that people don't want to hear. Because that's sad, okay? Honestly, at this point, if people care about 76, it's just rewatching maybe a video where, it was all the cool 76 bugs at the start, where you couldn't play 30 seconds without encountering a game-breaking bug. That's literally the most that the average person cares about 76. They're living the good old times of it being a shit show. Still is a shit show, but now it's a sad shit show. Anyway, that was Mr. Matty Plays 10 out of 10. Bye!